Welcome to the Bible Bros. Things look a little bit different today. We're in studio, which is a first for us here on this show. How does it feel, Dalton?
It's quite different.
It is quite different. But we've got coffee, and we got a good conversation today.
Yeah.
Spiritual numbness. Spiritual numbness. Basically, why do so many Christians feel far from God? Like, why do we sometimes feel like we're totally disconnected from God? And I guess, I don't know. I mean, to start, for me, I guess you got to kind of go to the cause of it, right? Because, a lot of times I will feel totally separate from God. I'm like, I can't feel God. I'm trying, I'm praying, I'm doing everything, or I think I'm doing everything, and nothing is happening. Have you had a lot of seasons like that?
Not like I don't know if it's been like a full season. Definitely like bits and pieces here and there, like throughout each season. Like I'll hear them. Well, this past year I've been hearing them a whole lot more, but there's times where I'll go like a week. I feel like I'm getting all the information from them, and then I will hit them with a prayer that means a lot, or it's a prayer that's real specific, and just not get
anything.
Yeah, not really get nothing.
All right, so you said something. This is funny because, and I know the answer to this because I already know because we've talked about this. But I think this is something a lot of people struggle with. But for me, you said something that stuck out where you're like, the last year you've had more, you've had more of these moments, right, where you feel like you're hearing what changed. Like, I guess that's like the thing. Like, what is it that you did different?
Just being more obedient and talking to him.
Yeah,
and all kinds of like devoting more prayer time.
Yeah.
Than I ever have.
I get
and more engaging more in the Bible.
Prayer time in Bibles. I mean, this is like common sense. Like, why do we not do this? Like, this is because we sit here
we overcomplicate a simple God.
We overcomplicate a simple God.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's really simple. I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, he's very simple. But
are we more complicated than God?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably true.
I would say. Well, obviously, we don't fully understand him, but that's not what I'm meaning by him being simple. But his ways are simple when you look at him, like in years, like if years ahead, like if you look back, you're like, oh wow, like it makes total sense. It was something so simple, something so small, like the smallest change in something in your life that he made, but you were overthinking, overcomplicating it at the time.
Hey, I'm Billy Hallowell, and I have something to tell you. This is really, really important. It's about Christian Solidarity International, which is an organization that I absolutely love. Now, as hard as it might be for us to comprehend here in America, but there are people in other parts of the world, all over the world, whose very lives are being threatened simply because they believe in Jesus. In fact, people are being enslaved, very literally, for their faith. Some of these people have been detained for 25 or even 30 years. Now, if you've been listening to me for any period of time, you know that I am passionate about the work that Christian Solidarity International does. This is work to help the persecuted church all over the world. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are persecuted and enslaved in the Middle East alone. The headlines right now are obviously very focused on the Middle East, and so that's why I want to talk about this today. Now, together we can very literally, and this is amazing, buy their freedom and save the lives of some precious brothers and sisters in Christ right now. We can do that right now, giving them the joy and the hope that we celebrate here in America so freely. For only $250, you can provide life-saving aid. You can actually buy a believer's freedom and provide them with what they need: food, a goat, other necessary goods for their very survival. Now, these are brothers and sisters in Christ enslaved and fearing for their lives. They need us. Now, let's get back to the $250. Maybe you can give more. Maybe you can give even a portion, but every single gift helps. You can actually go right now to www.csi-usa.org, and you can do what you can right there to help. You'll see my picture when you scroll down. Click on that where it says give, and give whatever you can. That's www.csi-usa.org. Thank you so much.
Well, like that's the whole thing. Like what causes the spiritual numbness? Like we've talked a lot about this. Like you find yourself in this position. You're like, I'm spiritually numb. I'm struggling. I'm not where I want to be. And then I feel like I have tended to blame in my mind, even if I didn't say it, like I'm blaming God. I'm kind of like, oh, well, why is God not showing up? Why is God not doing this? Why am I not feeling God? Right. Like the responsibility is like all on God in the human mind. Right. I don't know. You're good about those things. So I don't know how often you felt that, but I feel like that's how we approach it. It's like, if we find ourselves numb and nothing's happening, the assumption is that it's God, right? That it was his fault.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, for me though, when I'm in that position, I think I have to then take a step back and be like, well, what am I doing? What am I doing or not doing that has landed me in that position?
I heard someone say it one time, and I might be butchering this, but like
I'm betting you're the butcher.
We give the devil all the credit for something God's doing. Like the, I don't know the word, but the testing of your faith, testing of a bunch of different things that is going to grow you. But when you're looking at it in that moment, it's not, in your mind, it's not a test. It's like you're going through hell.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't see it like that. And so then you start, which it's cool to blame the devil, but like it's something like you're giving him credit for something that he didn't do, that God could have been just putting in your life to grow you. Yeah.
I mean, the uncomfortable thing, oh gosh, and this is, you and I do this, we pick a topic and then we go into like 5 other topics, because the uncomfortable thing, and I think we have to talk about this in light of what you just said, like you're giving the devil all the credit. Everything that happens, oh gosh, I'm going to probably spark a theological debate here, but like, let's go. Everything that happens, God is in full control of everything. He could theoretically stop anything, right? Because he's all powerful. He doesn't always stop everything from happening. He allows things to happen sometimes. And this is not an indictment of God. It's like if somebody, God forbid, goes into a school or goes into a church and they shoot it up, right? They use their free will to do something evil. They have the ability to do that because God gave us free will. God could have stopped it. And there are times he does stop things, right? But we are left sometimes asking that question of why does he not? And I gave an extreme example.
Why does he pick and choose?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think there's a broader plan, right? Like, I think I've said this to you before, but I had a philosophy professor in seminary, and I did not finish seminary, but I got halfway through seminary, and I just took the classes because they were interesting. And he said he kind of like gave, and anybody watching can see this, these 2 lines, right? Like everything in history happens between these 2 lines. And when a miracle happens, it's when God intervenes to keep things in those 2 lines. So like when God stops something or steps in, it's to make sure the events do not go outside of where they need to be. They need to stay in those lines because all the benchmark events are like already mapped out, the things that are going to happen. And that made miracles make a lot of sense to me, because the same question, we've talked about this many times, like why do some people get a miracle and some people don't? Why does one person with cancer get healed and 5 other people don't, right? I don't want to oversimplify God, but I do think that there's a plan and we have to be comfortable with it and understand it. And so sometimes like bringing it way back from cancer into like just the pain of life and the numbness, sometimes we're supposed to feel the pain, I think. Sometimes we're supposed to learn through that. I don't know. I'll let you.
Yeah. I mean, count it all as joy.
Now you're trying to convict me, because we're supposed to be joyful no matter what.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm really good at joy and peace. I don't know about you.
I'm good at peace sometimes.
Yeah, you're really good at peace, actually.
Yeah.
I am not good at peace, and I am not really that great at joy all the time, which I said to you yesterday morning. I texted you, I was like, hey, can you pray for me for peace? Or maybe this is 2 days ago. I don't know. For peace and for joy. Like, and you were like, it's really funny. I prayed for you for that today. And I was like, good, because I have to actually wake up and sometimes pray for that, because I don't always feel it naturally, which is kind of shameful to say, but it's just the truth. Like it's something that I let things steal the joy. But if persecuted Christians being killed in other countries can be joyful, why can't we?
Yeah, we got a lot more than they do.
We got a lot more than they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's maybe why we are the way we are. We're spoiled.
Americans are spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
because we have everything we could ask for, like
and
within
more
reach.
and more.
Yeah. Like, I love it here, but it is like that.
I don't want to live anywhere else. Like, let me say, like, I don't want to be anywhere else. But you do feel conviction when you hear these stories, or like somebody else always has it.
Just
worse.
like a wake up call to your
your
spirit, I guess.
So the numbness, like coming back to that, I mean, you know this. I went through the darkest period I probably ever had last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was also like a really the second half of the year was like one of the most amazing periods I've ever had. But that dark period, when you're in it, it feels like God's abandoned you. You feel like, let's just be honest. Let's have an honest conversation. You feel abandoned. You feel alone. You can get mad at God sometimes. You can get frustrated. People like you might not, because you're pretty good about measuring where God is, but most people do. You get upset. Or you at least, and you felt this, wonder like, why God? Why? Like, why can't this person be a different way? Why can't this thing happen a different way? And that's where the joy gets stolen. But then I was on a podcast earlier this morning on another show, and I was processing through what happened last year, and I was thinking like, I think God wanted me to feel the pain that I felt, not because he's not loving, not because he doesn't care, but because I had to figure out how to grow through that. Like, he was not going to get me to grow assuming that I was some kind of great Christian when I wasn't, that I was living a way maybe I shouldn't have been, or I was just not where I should have been. So this period of pain came and I resented it. But now I'm looking back at it a year later and I'm like, man, we would not be sitting here doing this podcast if that did not happen. I don't know. I mean, have you had periods of pain where you've walked away feeling that?
Feeling like what specifically?
Feeling like you, maybe not immediately, but later on, where you're like, wow, that pain makes sense now.
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, yeah. Probably.
I couldn't think of any other ones outside of last year, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
for me,
I can't really pinpoint any specific. Probably.
Yeah, you also are pretty good about not letting pain get you down. Like, but my pain last year was just like internal, and it was oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
It was oppression. Like, it was an oppressive spiritual like pain. And I think when I look back at it now, yeah, I wish you can go through life without those moments. It was spiritual numbness and like desperation. But then it's like, man, again, that's how you grow. Like, sometimes you get broken to grow. And why do you think that is, though? Like, why does God sometimes break us before we can like actually be where we're supposed to be?
I don't know. It's just one of his
teaching
moments. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, like, if I could fully understand why he done everything, I mean, there's no faith would be involved.
I guess that's true. And the thing that you perfected, which is coming out in this conversation, and you perfected it a lot earlier than I have in life, is that you just you're not rattled by things like the way a lot of people are. You're rattled by some things, which I might call you out on after in one of our other episodes. You're rattled by one thing in particular, but you're not rattled by most things. Like, if something goes wrong, you're just kind of like, oh, that's how it happened. That's just the way it is. And
nothing
it's like,
I can do about it.
Yeah, but I think there's nothing you can do about it. And I bet you there are people watching or listening right now who are like, yeah, I wish I thought that way. But for people, they just can't get there sometimes. Like, they're just not there.
Well, sucks for them.
It does suck for them, but like,
I'm sorry, but
why do you think?
I don't know. That was harsh, but
well, it's a joke, but
yeah.
But do you? Okay, so you've been a Christian, a real Christian, for like 6 years.
Yeah,
like you were
before
a Christian before COVID, but you like, would things have bothered you before you were a Christian? No, so it's like a personality thing.
Yeah,
it's a personality thing. Like, you just don't.
And now it's better.
Now it's better.
Now,
so they bother you.
It's stronger.
I think people want to know, okay, like the people who are out there right now who are in the pain, they're in the struggle. And I am the worst. I mean, I'm probably like the worst person to give this advice because I struggle more with this than you do, right? But like, how do we, I guess let's go back to, why do we end up in that position? You said it at the beginning, like what you were doing that changed in the last year. You said like you're reading the Bible more, you're praying more. Is it possible, and I don't want to oversimplify this because I know people struggle with mental health issues and there are all sorts of things, spiritual health issues. Is it the not reading the Bible and the not praying that is actually landing us sometimes in these positions that we're in, these numb positions?
I would say. because then you won't know how to flee from sin. You wouldn't. I mean, you would. I mean, obviously you're going to sin, but like you wouldn't know how to flee from it. You wouldn't know how to resist the devil. You wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't know what God says about anything if you don't. You wouldn't have a relationship with Him. You wouldn't know what the Word says and how to fight it, how to go against it. So I would say, definitely. I mean, you can't. I mean, yeah, if you don't read or pray, you can't be a Christian. Like, because you don't know God.
That's a wild state. That's a
You just
wild
can't.
state.
You don't.
Right.
I mean, I'll get attacked for that probably, but you won't. How do you know God?
Being a Christian
And
is
it is
not
different.
a label.
Like, it is different because I know people are like, oh, well, in the Old Testament, you know, well, obviously in the New Testament, Jesus walked with people, and there were so many accounts after that. And in the Old Testament, God audibly spoke and showed up. But like us today, how are you gonna understand who he is, what he did, if you don't read His Word and pray?
But what is a Christian? Like what is a Christian? That we have to like define that. I feel like everybody's walking around saying they're Christians right now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. 66% of the country says they're Christians. And everyone's like, oh, that number's going down. It was 78% in 2007. And it's like, I think that's accurate. And then in 2014, it was down to like whatever it was. Now it's like 60%, whatever, 62%. The point is, it doesn't really matter what the stats are, because what does it mean to be a Christian? What if somebody comes to you right now, what does it mean?
Well, you'll know them by their fruits.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. So being a Christian is not saying you're a Christian. That's the point.
No.
And I'm going to co-sign what you said. Like, I don't think you can be.
I know so many people that say they're a Christian and then they go get hammered every weekend. They still sleep around. They cuss like crazy. And they do all this and do all that. I'm like, well, I guess Christian is a totally different term, and it's not the Jesus Christian. It's
What is it? Made in your own image? Like, we all struggle. We all have sin areas. Like, you and I did an episode of our podcast that will have aired by the time this airs, where we talked really candidly about struggling and sin and people and all these things. But we all struggle. But like, the point is, are you trying to live like Jesus? Are you actually, like, being a Christian is aspiring and then living it out? And we're not going to be perfect, and we're going to make mistakes. Do you have the people around you who that is the core issue? I feel like we're just going to bring this up every week, because if you don't have the people around you to help you too, it becomes very hard to do it. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but it becomes harder. And like, who are you surrounding yourself with? Those friends who are going out and getting hammered every week and sleeping around, I wouldn't
say they're my friends, but I know them.
Your best friends who are, no, but the people you know, who are doing those things, I would bet the people around them are doing it too.
Oh yeah,
because you are who you're around, like, in a lot of ways, you know. But it does, like, going back to the definition of a Christian, it's like, I think for me, have you died to self? Do you love God? And have you died to self to love others? Like that. And that's, obviously, do you believe Jesus died for your sins? And are you living that out? Do you believe that his sacrifice, that's the core belief? But then the action is like, when Jesus is asked,
believing that's all right.
Yeah.
Believing that's one thing.
Believing that, but then you got to live it.
Yeah.
And there are days that I'm like, I didn't live it well today.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like that every day, but there are days I'm like, I could have lived it better today. I could have loved my family better, or maybe I put myself first, or maybe I didn't, I don't know. I try to find ways, and this is just advice to people when it comes to other people. Like, how can you be generous to other people? Like, what can you do for other people? Like, is there stuff that's simple that you can do that might sacrifice something of yourself a little bit? If we're told to love other people more than ourselves, that's really difficult to do. Do you feel good at that? Like, loving others, people more than yourself?
I definitely think I primarily put people before myself. Yeah. Now, definitely not all the time.
Nobody does it all the time.
Yeah.
But
I'd say it's like, I'm always looking out for somebody, but I would say in my case, it's right at that 50-50 mark, or maybe just over.
I'm going to give you 60.
Yeah,
I'll give you
that's what I'm
60.
saying, maybe just over.
Yeah. I mean, But like,
not to toot my own horn.
not to toot your horn. I thought you were going to say 75%. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking like Dalton's going to give himself a high mark on this.
I look out for people a lot.
Now you look out for you are, and I don't know if it's because you're Southern. Obviously, we have different accents. You're very Southern, but like you open the door for people. You do things like you're always like, even random strangers. I'm always like, Dalton's being very pleasant. I wish he'd be more like that to me as a friend. It'd be awesome. But you put other people first, and I do think that's true. But that is living it out. If it's just a natural thing, right? Like, so people saying they're Christians, that means nothing to me. And I don't think we should get so hung up. I think we're really obsessed with
my cousin refuses to use that word, and he's the godliest man I know.
Which word?
Christian.
Really? Why?
He got so tied in, like growing up in that, just the religious box. And he realized how Christians act. And he was like, I'm not that way.
Huh.
So he doesn't associate, like obviously he is, but
right.
He won't.
Okay. I don't have a problem with the term as long as you define it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what his issue is probably. Like, we're not defining a term. We're obsessed with how many people are Christians.
He was like, I don't associate myself with the, you have to wear this to church. You have to say this. If you don't say the sinner's prayer, then you're not going to heaven, that type of thing. And so that's what he grew up with. And,
because the sinner's prayer is a one-time thing. I have no problem with the sinner's prayer in terms of like, I had a moment where I sat down and I asked Jesus into my life. The question then though is that like, are you then living it after? If you say the sinner's prayer and you never love God and love others and live it out, what was the point?
Yeah.
It was just a prayer you said.
That's what he says.
So I think like the debate about the sinner's prayer is super interesting because it's like, that is the moment for a lot of people where they make a commitment. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that. Like, did you say the sinner's prayer? Like, I know yours is more of a journey.
Like the Romans 10:9 thing?
I mean, like, it could be as simple as Jesus come into my heart.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't go up on an altar call.
Right.
It was just like a cry out to God for it.
But there was a moment.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when, but yeah. Well, no, it was obviously there's that moment when you get saved, but I was going to his Bible study, and it was over the course of, I would say I got saved early, but the course of like digging deep was years. Well,
it's years, and I think like I've been a Christian my whole life, and we've talked about this privately, but I think probably because of the job I do too, it's really easy to like separate yourself out from the reality of what you say you believe, and kind of like in my mind a Christian and like acting it out and believing it. I would have said I believed it, but I think the last couple of years has been way more intense in terms of like living it and trying to actually be a Christian. And I think that's where we have to, people who are feeling this like stuckness right now, where they're just like not sure how to move and they're not feeling God, they're not hearing God. Sometimes I think that is intentional and God is trying to teach us something through that. But other times it's because we have pulled away. Like we got a verse here. We got James 4:8, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Right? That's a really simple concept. Like we are mad at God for not being near, but are we drawing near to him? And I think that's the question we have to ask. If you're struggling with that, you've got to ask. Like if you feel like you're numb, that doesn't, again,
Time works both ways.
It works both ways.
Yeah. Real quick, how are we on time?
We're good on time.
Okay. I didn't know if we were over 20 or...
We're about 22 minutes in.
Okay.
So
I was just curious.
Another 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I just think we have to ask that question of ourselves. Instead of blaming God every time, the numbness is really coming a lot of times because of us. And
just sin.
And sin. And so what's the solution? And this is the other thing. I don't want people to feel hopeless. Like if you've sinned, if something has happened, I mean, there are a lot of Christians who go through their Christian walk, and we know people who've done this. I've done this. And you just struggle at some point and you allow the enemy in, or you just start believing the lies, and you've got to get yourself back on track. That's why the sinner's prayer thing is so problematic. It's like, oh, I said this prayer, I'm good to go. It's like, well, this is an ongoing thing. You said it at the top. You started living as a Christian more the last year than you ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more the last half a year than you ever even have, right? And that has changed your life dramatically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Changed, not just your life, your outlook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I see other people? How do I see other things? How do I And when you're at a point in your life like you are, and I can't speak for you, you're looking ahead at like jobs, life, marriage, a marriage that you want to have, a family that you want to have, all those things, right? You're looking ahead to things that you're aspiring to have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you're laughing. I mean, but there are things, right, that you aspire to have. How do you think you'd be approaching those things if you didn't? I'm not trying to interview you right now, but I am on this because I think this is important. And people are going to hear this in the same boat. Like, how would you approach those things if you didn't do what you've done the last 6 months?
On my own strength.
That would not be good.
No. It might get somewhere, but not in a good way.
Or it'd be forced.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I just don't want people to feel hopeless. Like, I will tell you this. The dark stuff that happened last year for me, coming out of that and making a decision to really follow Jesus more than I ever have was probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. And the dividends I felt from that have been amazing. And I think like being able to sit down and do a show where we talk through these things like we would talk through anyway at a normal conversation has really been life-changing. So if you're in that boat, I don't know. I'll give my advice, you close with your advice, but like if you're in that boat, I would say don't overcomplicate it. Pick up your Bible.
Yeah.
Pray and get around people who are going to encourage you.
Yeah. The prayer thing hangs people up because I have a friend that thinks it's such a chore to pray when it's like, well, dude, it literally means just talk. So all you're doing is talking. Just talk to him.
How do you have a relationship with somebody you don't ever talk to? Like, how do you do that? You can't do that in life. Like,
No.
if you're pursuing somebody
Yeah.
in a relationship, if you're a friend.
It's like they're getting, it's an embarrassment thing for them. And I'm like, dude, you're literally just talk to him like you talk to me and just take all out the dirty stuff.
Talk like a Christian.
Yeah. Just have like a decent conversation, and obviously he knows what's going on, but like he wants to know what's going on even though he knows.
Yeah.
Coming from you. So I would just say if you're hung up on prayer, just talk.
Just talk and don't overcomplicate that.
Yeah, I don't know why I like to do it, but the Lord's Prayer, I do that quite often. And
you recite it? You recite the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah.
But you think it through while you're doing it, like each part of it?
Yeah. Sometimes I've gotten just where I was doing it, because Jesus is like, when you pray like this. And I used to just say it to say it. Because I'm like, oh, well, this will be the start of. Then I'll go into my own prayer after that. But, yeah, I try to really think of it once I'm.
Because I think it's a blueprint, right? Like,
Yeah.
Our Father who art in heaven, like, Lord, you're above everything, right? Like
Yeah.
as you're going through it, almost like each part of it, adapting it to like your life.
Mm-hmm.
Fleeing from evil. Like, what does that look like? Help me to flee from evil, Lord. Help me if you're struggling with a specific sin. Help me to flee from that. I think that's the best way with the Lord's Prayer when you're reciting it to like sort of like go piece by piece as the blueprint through how to do that. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the show. You got to subscribe. If people are not subscribing, they've got to go and do that on YouTube, on Apple, all the different podcast platforms, and make sure you sign up to get alerts on YouTube so that when we put new episodes out, you see it.
Yeah. We got some cool stuff in the future, too.
We got some really good stuff. So we'll see you guys soon.